My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire. I apologize that we're starting on this screen in particular, but I thought that the Silent didn't have a Niaz bonus, so I started a run so that I could get to the first boss, then restart, then start the episode. But it turns out we actually have a Niaz bonus on this character at this point in time, so we gotta start here. Obtain a random rare card, 7 max HP, a curse and a random rare relic, or the starting relic for the random boss relic. Starting relic for the random boss relic seems like it probably has like the highest possible reward. It is also the highest risk though. I'm considering it especially because having extra energy so that I can get, I don't know, some kind of spicier, more interesting boss relics seems like it might be a good idea. Actually, I've been 1 hour elapsed on this run already as I was waiting on this screen. A random rare card. There are a lot of bad rares for the Silent. I'm gonna go with a random boss relic. Oh, good. Lizard Tail. When you would die, heal to 50% of your max HP instead. Works once. That's certainly a relic. I'm probably not going to go for the elite this floor. That is to say, the elite that holds the key this floor. So apparently you can pick up any of the keys in any of the locations on any of the floors. That is to say that each floor will spawn a special elite that will give you the relic as a reward for that fight. The relic being part of the key. Take a dash here for elite fights. You can always go to a campfire to rest to get the ruby key, and you can get the sapphire key from a chest on any floor. And because of that, I think that like the Ironclad can probably farm them out early on in the game without that much difficulty, but that I should also possibly consider that the Silent, who scales well but doesn't start out particularly powerful in terms of fighting elites, should probably collect that later, lest I die consistently to the same elite. So I've also got to start thinking about the strategy by which I will succeed in the heart fight, right? So instances of damage are capped to 100. Every time you play a card, you take 1 damage, and the enemy has a multi-hit for 12 times on the second turn. That's all I know so far. So what does that help me do? Well, it tells me that I definitely want something like Malaise or Disarm were I playing the Ironclad. Strength reduction is probably going to be particularly strong. I don't know if the enemy has ability to purge debuffs on it, so I don't know whether or not that is necessarily going to be applicable through the entire fight, and I also don't know, for that same reason, whether or not poison will be a particularly powerful strategy in that combat, but I suspect that it will. Especially because poison, as I've mentioned before, with strength, block on the Ironclad, strength and block on the Ironclad, and poison on the Silent, are the multiplicative scaling things, because you have either Entrench to double your block, Limit Break to double your strength, or Catalyst to triple your poison. Because of that, it would probably be one of the best ways that I can deal a ridiculous amount of damage to a single target in a turn. For that same reason, I think I'll take the Deadly Poison. Footwork. It has to be. No ifs, ands, or buts, and then we'll also take Dodge and Roll. Footwork works especially because whoa, upgrade 2 random cards? Hell yeah. Footwork is especially powerful considering the attack that I picked up so far is Dash, which is actually going to be benefiting from Footworks. Alright, so we got 7 this turn. Yes. What's our priority upgrade? 3 block and 3 damage on Dash is pretty powerful. Who's our boss this floor? Because Deadly Poison's probably more important. We'll keep an eye on it. Blur, Cloak and Dagger, Dagger Spray. So I'm thinking about Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is not particularly good against the Guardian on this floor because the shivs that you generate take away from the block that you generate from the same card. It would also mean that, especially upgraded, I'm playing 3 cards and taking 3 damage from the Heart's Beat of Death. For that reason, I think I take Blow. Also, if you're wondering, yeah, because I now know the ultimate goal and I don't have to just rush to get there because, you know, new content, I'll try and be a little bit slower and more methodical. I felt bad, frankly, about how many times I miscalculated things in the last episode and how many relatively poor plays and decision-making choices. Yep, that's certainly a way to express that, that I made in that last episode. So I'm going to be a little bit more methodical. I'm going to treat this like it's closer to a high ascension run. Those are the runs that I tend to, you know, give all of my focus to. All right, we're definitely waiting till next turn. Hopefully we don't get dash in this hand. Nice. Because dash is just... Oh, wow. Yeah, we'll blur. Dash is just excellent in this fight for us. 5 HP is not worth a defend. No, especially when it's 2 HP. I forgot that I had the footwork up. We are getting basically perfect draws here against the Lagavulin, save for the fact that the Deadly Poison was on the bottom of our second shuffle. Like, it could very scarcely be better. Quite appreciative. That'll get it done. Juzu Bracelet. Regular enemy combats are no longer encountered in question mark rooms, as well as a fairy in a bottle, so I'm not going to die twice now. Whenever you would die, however, heal to 10% of your max HP instead and discard this potion. If I didn't already have dash, I would probably take Skewer as a way to help me deal with single targets. I think I need to focus on saving for poison. Speaking of focusing on saving for poison, poison is going to be basically our win condition in the boss fight this floor, so it needs to be upgraded. Do I want Meat on the Bone or Sapphire Key? I feel like because we're an overly defensive deck already, we're very unlikely to get that much benefit out of Meat on the Bone. But it would heal us after a fight where we've been saved by the Fairy Potion, or likely saved by the Lizard Tail, so I could see it either way. I'm going to take the Sapphire Key. I could see someone else taking the opposite option. Having Deadly Poison in the first hand here and not dash in the first hand is basically as good as I possibly could have asked for. I kind of wanted to follow that up with a blur. I hope I don't regret that. Yep, looks like I won't regret that. Hell yeah! We took 1 damage over the course of a Gremlin Knob fight where we have actually a fair amount of skills already added to the deck. Potion Belt, upon pick up, gain 2 potion slots. That's actually going to be really powerful for us because it means that we get to keep 5 potions that we can kind of curate for that final combat. As well as Power Potion. Choose 1 of 3 random power cards to add to your hand. It costs 0 this turn. I could take Bane. It would be helping us with some single target damage. And I am intending on picking up more poison in this deck, so Bane doesn't necessarily have no use if it's drawn before the Deadly Poison, because I'll probably put other poison cards in too. But also, I'm probably going to put a lot of skills in this deck, right? Consider the fact that most of the poison affecting cards are skills. Most of the defensive cards are skills. And I'll probably be using both of those. I'm going to take Flechette. I think Bane would probably be immediately better, but I think Flechette, for me, in the long run, will be. I'll take the max HP here because I'm not really feeling the pain. And lose the max HP there because I just got some. Hell yeah. I'm actually considering a removal here. Oh, sorry. actually considering a removal. Yeah, of course you are. That's what you do, Raps. No, I'm considering a upgrade. Because there's 2 cards that I still want to upgrade before I get to the Guardian. I want Neutralize upgraded and I want Flechette upgraded. Okay. And Neutralize being upgraded before we go into... Oh, well, it was going to matter if it wasn't this combat. I'm probably just not going to be fully defended this turn. That's just going to have to be okay. Lame. Really wanted the Neutralize before the Deadly Poison there. Alright. I'll Dex Pot. Okay, so Flechette's 8 damage this turn. Yeah, that's surprisingly good. I have to use that strike this turn because I can't guarantee that I get any more damage in my next hand than the Neutralize, and I definitely want to kill the backline sentry next turn. Alright. That turned out to have been extremely definitely correct. Yes. Alright, so 16. Yeah, we've used a lot of the attacks in our deck. We're going to need, like, dash something. Alright, that backliner has 10 HP now. I'm just going to wait until I have dash before they die. Ooh. I was really not expecting to have any damage in that hand, so I'm quite appreciative. Thank you, block also. Would I take a second blur? Probably not at this point. Oh, dash. Damn it. That was the worst case scenario. I end up with a hand that is totally defense on the turn they're not attacking, and then totally offense on the turn they are. We win! Kunai, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dex. Literally, this entire deck is already set up to utilize that. What this does mean, however, is that Blade Dance and Cloak and Dagger just became way better because they give us a way to gain a lot of low-cost attacks and shivs to upgrade our Kunai. Okay. I'm not keen on any of those, though. I want dash upgraded because it's going to be incredibly important next floor, especially if we can manage to get somehow that Necronomicon. Thank you for the dex up. Okay, so 16 damage this turn. Okay, it's technically possible, but gosh, that's a lot closer than I thought that should be. I mean, that's the second point of dex for us, and we still haven't played our footwork, so that's pretty good at least. Unfortunately, getting Deadly Poison at the bottom of the first... Oh, I want to play Flechette so bad. Unfortunately, getting Deadly Poison at the bottom of the first shuffle is really unfortunate for us. It's how we intend to deal our damage. I'd love to play 3 strikes that turn, but I'd rather perfect the boss, thank you. Sweet. I might actually let you go for your 32 here. No, because I have to play Deadly Poison this turn, so I can't. Damn. I wanted to let them go for the 32 hit because it would have left them up for another turn, so I would have gotten closer to my next Deadly Poison. They would have taken another trigger of the damage, right? It just would have gotten us closer to where I wanted to be. After this fight, considering that I have still no AoE in the deck, the primary thing that I'm looking for is Corpse Explosion. I would, however, also quite warmly accept Adrenaline because it'll help us get into the flow of things a little bit faster, get an early kunai charge, those kinds of things. We get 19 block when we play that dash. if I got the kunai, I would have then drafted dash immediately after. So the way this has worked out is kind of absurdly good. Plus, now we're only one shuriken away from having a win condition like outside of capability for anything to ever deal with it. It's nice. That's a perfect boss there. Now, like, while we can perfect bosses like the Guardian, you would have had a lot more difficulty against the Hexaghost there. I wouldn't have drafted the same way had it been the Hexaghost, mind. But we would have had a lot more difficulty against the Hexaghost, and for that same reason, and we would because the Hexaghost scales. And we scale as well, but we scale more slowly, right? So we're kind of more lumbering, which means that things that scale on the next floor, particularly literally all of the elites, Book of Stabbing scales, well, I guess the Gremlin leaders don't. The Gremlin leader, the Taskmaster fight doesn't. But the Gremlin leader fight does scale as well, so I'm going to have to be a little cautious of those. That's the corpse explosion I was just asking for. That's unfortunate. I think I have to take the Runic Pyramid. Now, it's because the Hovering Kite is... it can be difficult to utilize. And especially seeing as I'm only drawing 5 cards a turn and I have 0 cost cards in my deck, or rather a single 0 cost card in my deck. Imagine I draw an average hand, which is like 5 cards that are each 1 cost. If I have to discard 2 of them, I'm still only playing 3 energy worth of stuff. So I would have to have a 2 cost in my hand and not have a 0 cost in my hand for the Hovering Kite to actually be a benefit for us right now, because we don't have anything like a backflip or a card draw in this deck already. I definitely don't want to take Velvet Choker for the reason that Burst plus Deadly Poison is one of the huge ways that you can start getting ahead in terms of your poison on the enemy. Burst Catalyst as well. When you burst and then play 2 skills after, you have played 5 cards for that turn, so the Velvet Choker is already very close to being angry at you. And then on top of that, I would be heavily limited in my ability to activate the kunai using shivs. So I'll be taking the Runic Pyramid. Being able to hold a lot of cards in hand is actually going to be surprisingly good for us, I believe. It's just, we might also need to throw some copies of Flying Knee into this deck, just so that we have the ability to be a little bit more offensive. I can even just leave Flechette in hand until it's super powerful. Obviously not that I'm going to right now, at least. Alright. Get to save 3 block for next turn. Well, Corpse Explosion should go on the bird. 12, so you'll lose 3 if I neutralize you. You'll lose 5 if I neutralize you, so we're definitely neutralizing the back line. I think we have to cop the damage this turn is the thing. Oh no, of course we don't! Sorry, we have the Runic Pyramid. I don't have to play the Corpse Explosion immediately. I ruined that one for myself. That's my bad. That's okay, because that's just lethal now. Bye. Outmaneuver is rough, even though it does the kind of thing that I was talking about from the Flying Knee. It doesn't accomplish anything while it does it. It doesn't have like any block attached, doesn't have an attack attached. Like, it's going to be really difficult to find a turn to use that where I only want to use 2 energy of other things. Slice actually might be viable. Consider it lowers the average cost of our hands, so we can just get it out there. We have a lot of card value because we're keeping cards from previous turns, and we want to play as many attacks as we can in order to get kunai. Plus, it's a little bit of extra damage that we kind of need right now. Okay, if you give me the Necronomicon, I am going to almost die. would be a very small death. All right, Nilri's Codex. At the end of your turn, you may shuffle one of 3 random cards into your draw pile. At the very least, that'll help us adapt on the fly to whomever we're fighting, but I don't see that. Yes. This is a deck that requires setup. Its setup is that it needs the ability to play a bunch of attacks in order to increase its dex. Obviously, it wants to set up its poison. Obviously, it wants to set up its footwork. But also, we won't really be touched after that. Not commonly, at least. Unless we have the champion this floor. We do have the champ this floor. But then I can just upgrade one of these apparitions and keep it in hand until the execute turn because of the Runic Pyramid. So I think we take this. I'll probably have to use some potions this combat, but I'm more than happy to take this. Weakening all of our enemies by 1 at the very start of each battle is going to give us more time to set up. It has to be dash deadly poison. I think I might dash deadly poison bear and also throw the fire potion on the back line. I'm never going to be able to play that Crippling Cloud. Oh, if I knew that I was just about to draw Corpse Explosion, I could have just set them to low health and then waited for the Corpse Explosion, which would have been cool. Alright, so 20 damage incoming this turn. So Footwork, Survive a Blow. I'm only going to have 17 block. I could Survive a Defend. That's 18. Well, since it's only 1 difference. Actually, I'm also going to Skill Potion. I'm actually going to put the Bane in the deck because of the Corpse Explosion. Should be particularly powerful. Lay out that Apparition. Not able to benefit from the Bane, at least. Alright, so because of Corpse Explosion, we want to set the person with a higher HP down. And I'll be keeping Bane, so... There's the Corpse Explosion again. I'll be keeping the Bane so that I can actually get its extra damage with the Corpse Explosion. Yep, I counted that horribly. I think I forgot that I was weakened. It's entirely my bad. Alright, let's not have that happen again. Red Mask. At the start of each combat, apply 1 weak to all enemies, as well as Gambler's Brew, as well as Adrenaline. I mean, come on, obviously. We're probably going to need some extra help in this fight as well. We'll take the Thorns Potion, so we've got 3 damage on them basically every single time they hit. I kind of want the Power Potion for the boss fight is the thing. Actually, just going to Gambler's Brew this hand. That's much more like it. So do I play the Apparition or not? I have to play Deadly Poison. So I play Apparition Blur or Defend Blur. Defend Blur means that I take 8 damage this turn. I keep 5 block to the next turn with Blur. If I play Apparition Blur, I keep 4 block. I keep 3 block until next turn. This is better. Obviously, Malaise. Flechette Slice Dash is the most damage. Plus it gets us an extra point of dex. We're not going to take skill because we don't actually throw that many attacks in a single turn. Okay. More than happy to put bullet time in there. It's just going to help us play out a whole hand at some point. A lot like this. I could bullet time now. Or I could just big malaise. Big Malaise means the enemy is basically never going to hit me. I think I just do that. I'm burning this apparition again, but I think ultimately this is going to be the right idea. Get that blade dance. Bullet time. Let's go. Strike him, strike him, strike him. Poison, strike him, strike him. Just defend. Hell, I gotta admit, it looks good from here. Bullet time is also a card that I would now include in this deck after having picked up that Runic Pyramid. Frozen Egg. Whenever you get a power card to it, I can immediately upgrade it. And Backflip, which we will... Do we take Backflip in this deck? I don't think we do. Not yet. Yes, it's good, but after our first turn, we always have card value on our side. I think I could. Especially because I do want to get through the deck faster to get back to my Deadly Poison and Corpse Explosion. But then the problem becomes, how do I empty my hand when it gets too large? Because I needed a Deadly Poison. Sorry, I needed a Bullet Time effectively to do it there. Draw 5 energy on average worth of things per turn. Only able to play 3. I don't want to add to that problem. I'm not taking the Backflip right now. With that Frozen Egg, I'm thinking that I go across to the shop. Yeah. There's actually a lot of decision to make here. So there's 2 things I'm instantly thinking about. I'm thinking about Infinite Blades, obviously, because it's an extra attack per turn. I could just save those and then use it for kunai, which seems bad now that I think about it. 3 turns worth of shivs for a single Infinite Blade, for a single kunai, but it also deals damage. But then also there's Ninja Scroll. At the start of each combat, add 3 shivs into your opening hand, and those 3 shivs in our opening hand give it an extra point of dex. So effectively, this is 12 damage in the opening of a turn, as well as a trigger of our kunai. I think I definitely have to take Ninja Scroll. I think Infinite Blades is going to be a good idea for the long-term fights. All right. Burst seems good. I mean, I probably could Apparition here, but... None of those. Let myself take 1 damage that turn. I guess I can just burst Apparition, but again, that's not gonna keep us safe. Actually, just gonna burst the dodge and roll. Hey, and that burst dodge and roll seems like it's a great idea. Okay, we'll dash first, then Flechette, and get as many points of that plated armor off of you as possible. Catalyst on top of the deadly poison we already have in hand. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, another catalyst as well. Let's go. Nilari's might actually be a huge pickup. Might. For the same reason that we turned down draw last time, I'm not going to be taking acrobatics, especially with how much it draws. I don't think I take Bane at this point either, actually. Oh no, but I can just leave it in hand until it works. Okay. I don't want to have to fight any super powerful elites next floor, so I think I have to do it this floor. Whoo! Gremlin Horn. Whenever an enemy dies, gain an energy and draw a card. That's extremely powerful. So they'd get 6. Wow, 6 metallicize. That's a lot. I think I might need the power potion for this fight. I definitely need the regen potion. I don't think I ever get to play Infinite Blades in this combat. Yep, put a second corpse explosion in there. That's exactly what I'm waiting for. Thankfully, we weren't weakened this turn. Oh, gosh. That's already an entangle. Apparition, defend, deadly poison in the backline. This could be a pretty... Huh? I was about to use the letter P to start the word tragic. This could be a pretty tragic fight overall. It could be a pretty protracted fight. That one makes sense. Backstab, sure. I need 0-cost cards right now, especially because I couldn't play that slice that turn. And excellent. I even got all of the regen potion out. Hell yeah. Emerald key as well. Bottled lightning. Hang on. No, there's... Wait, isn't there something I desperately want in my opening hand? Corpse explosion. Yeah. Yeah, corpse explosion. I mean, I want to set it up at the start of the turns because literally I'm waiting on it most fights. So this helps us in hallway fights, but it makes boss fights worse. Our opening hand in boss fights is pretty important. We have weakness applied to all of our enemies at the start of an opening boss fight. As well as having the extra shivs. Okay, I take the corpse explosion, obviously. Dagger spray slice. I'm actually considering a second slice, so, you know. Or a second slice. There's no reason to set up corpse explosion that turn. Or rather, there's no reason to set it up until I'm about to win with it. Never mind. We set it up this turn. So that it activates the Bane. So I do take 3 damage as a result of that, but we should be much better set up for the rest of the game. Would I rather have a Shiv in hand or a random card? Random card. Well-laid plans. I already have that active, thank you. All right, this is pretty much exactly what I wanted. Backstab, more 0 costs. The system works! Caltrop. We are defensive. Flechette upgraded! I'm definitely taking either Caltrop or Flechette upgraded here. See, Caltrop, I'm looking at Caltrop and I'm going, if the enemy has a 12 attack, that is to say the heart has a 12 hit attack, maybe they recur, maybe that occurs occasionally. 12 by 5 is 60 damage, and it'll be in play for the entire combat. I think Flechette's better in the short term, and I think Caltrop might be better in the long term. I think Flechette's better in floor fights, and Caltrop's better in boss fights. I think I'm better prepared for floor fights because of the corpse explosion in the opening hand, so I think I'll take the Caltrop. Alright. We now need to smith 2 of these apparitions. That's a pre-upgraded footwork. That's a purchased footwork right there. That's actually good. That's a good setup how it is. Because I don't want them to die this turn. I'm not going to take any of those. So I get all the extra energy if I kill them this turn. So, yay! Energy and card draw. Wow. That's a lot of damage. Yep, second Bane is a good idea. Nine by 3, so 27 incoming damage this turn. I mean, I guess I just used this apparition. There's no reason not to. Do I take the 3 damage, though? Second Corpse Explosion is a great idea. It'll help me deal with the chumps that are inevitably going to be summoned. I'm going to use this Survivor to try and empty my hand. Die. Wow. Oh, that's a good die right there. Oh. Hell yeah, that went well. I guess I'm saving the Corpse Explosion for the next time now. I can't check my draw pile. I don't think I have any draw in there. So I don't think I can activate that Grand Finale, so I'll just put an escape plan in there. I had an Adrenaline. I could have activated Grand Finale. God. I was even trying to check for that. Ancient Tea Set. Whenever you're under a rest site, start the next combat with 2 extra energy. That's actually going to be really handy for casting the Corpse Explosion. I want the Cloak and Dagger, but only if it's upgraded. I'm taking it. I'll upgrade it later, I think. I think another apparition needs to be upgraded. Yeah, I'll play it all out. Also going to use the regen potion because it'll be useful over the entirety of the fight. In Venom or Infinite Blades? I think Infinite Blades is actually better for us here because of the fact that it should mean every single turn will trigger Kunai. Which has thus far not been a guarantee. Flying Knee seems good as well. Heel Hook's not necessarily always going to be free for us. Infinite Blades! Okay, 3 attacks this turn. Seems good. Shit. Apparition, Infinite. Strike, Defend, or Caltrop? Caltrop for the 5 in setup. Dodge and Roll is a ridiculous defensive card for us now, so... Oh, we already get 20 block from Dash. Oh, we're going to overdraw basically every single turn now. Woo! Thin down the hand a little. As much as I want to Blade Dance. More than that, I don't want to. Can I play 3 more attacks this turn? No, but I can play 1 more. Learn to defend. Burst. How useful is that for us? I'm guaranteed to have a next stand. I can burst Apparition. No, I want Deflect. It's just a 0 cost that I can get out of my hand, which is important because we have more than we can really handle right now. We do need more poison in the deck because that's supposed to be how we're winning, and it's not there. So you're purging and debuffing this turn, which means that next turn I have to worry. Sadly, I don't have Blur in that hand, at least. So Apparition goes out this turn. Endless Agony is going to be a problem, but more decks for us. Let's go, Kunai! Yeah, we didn't even need to defend that turn. That's how well that went. Terra is going to be insane. This Nilri's Codex is actually... I readily admit, I definitely underappreciate Nilri's Codex. I'm building thick this game, which is why it's so useful for me. I'm building thick because I want to be resilient against the deck trashing that the Heart does. Just in case you're wondering. Alright, I could use Apparition this turn, but I think I could just straight up block. $21, $18. Yeah, I could just block with 2 cards. How about it? And then I'm just going to sit here and watch him die. Shot a man in Reno for that reason once. Malaise, yes. We spoke recently. We spoke before about why I would want to take that. How often are we going to rest? Well, we have a lot of cards that we still need to upgrade. We have Apparitions in the deck, and we still need to recall the the Ruby Key. So I could totally see the Coffee Dripper. I can't take Runic Dome because I don't know the attack patterns of the final boss yet. Busted Crown? That's also something I could consider, but it does mean that we're unlikely to get Catalyst, which means that I'm probably just going to have a hard slog through the boss fight. I'll take Coffee Dripper. We need the extra energy. It's just non-negotiable. I mean, it's literally non-negotiable. All of them offer the energy exclusively. All right. See what we can get done here. I basically just want as many upgrades as I possibly can get. So 3 on the left-hand side versus... That's actually maximum. It's also got an early shot and only 2 elites. That's our line. Cool. Chose not to kill them that turn because their deck trashing isn't particularly effective against me. But also because it allows me to do this in my turn. There we go. Had to set up the apparition so that I wouldn't take damage in response to that. Skill, we don't have that much, so no. That much in terms of energy, I mind. Easy start with the adrenaline. I love the screen animation for adrenaline, by the way. I barely noticed it at the time, and when I looked back, I was surprised to see that it wasn't there, because it feels like something that was always there, because of course it is. Like, that makes so much sense, of course. That'd be so cool. Kind of just making it some ridiculously over-defended. An upgraded Concentrate probably wouldn't be bad for this deck, but we'd probably also want some draw, and then, gosh, we're adding like a lot of elements into the deck at that point. Enemy down! No! Money down! I mean, we can generate catalysts in the final boss fight if we're lucky. Ugh, look at that liquid bronze. Kind of want the Endless Agony. It's 2 towards the kunai is the thing. I don't think we have enough energy to take the backflip, but at the same rate. And I'm taking it. I don't think we have enough energy to do this thing that I'm about to do. Alright. Spire growth. Show us what you got. Actually, if you could show us a little less, thank you. Norsk Explosion's actually a little weak here, so I'll pass that over. Alright, so they're actually finally starting to rock out that debuff. We'll leave Flechette in this hand. Actually, if we don't Flechette, we can't. Oh, no, wait. Okay, no, this is good. This is good. This is good. We can still play 3 attacks without Flechette. So it's Shiv, Deadly Poison, Bane, Strike, Caltrops. The burst in the deck so that it can burst an apparition at some point. Flechette can be better than that. I don't know if Malaise is ever going to be better than that, though. Do I have another Flechette in the deck? I don't. Okay, so I'll just play the defend. Okay. Yeah, this is very much a slow, methodical, kind of lumbering, I guess, a little bit, deck. But hey, those can be fun too. Something like Envenom would help it a lot. Or Noxious Fumes. Obviously, I've wanted Noxious Fumes this entire time, but I always want Noxious Fumes, so, you know, what's different? Whatever. Enemy's dead when they attack. Don't want to take the extra slice, and that Cloak and Dagger is not pre-upgraded. We're emptying our hand. Emptying our hand at a reasonable rate so far. I think I can hold off. Yep. That opening turn could scarcely have gone better. Oh, wow. We found the Wraith form. Oh, that's awesome. Alrighty then. And now And now we wait. Got him. No. Letter opening would it trigger every turn? I don't think it would. I think it would trigger most turns. I don't think it would trigger every turn. I think what I do is actually anchor, then escape plan. Anchor in combination with the red mask means that our opening hand, everyone's weakened, we have 10 block, and that's really good because I have a corpse explosion in my opening hand that's sometimes a little bit onerous in terms of its cost. I don't necessarily have a shop later, so I'm actually also going to remove a card. Has to be a strike. No ifs, ands, or about that one. Let's recall. Just so that I don't forget to do it later and feel like a moron. Unfortunately, Caltrops is only ever going to be 3 damage because the Nemesis never takes damage from Thorns, which was confirmed to be a bug a while ago as well, like a very long time ago, but still hasn't changed. Damn it. Arr. That's okay. They're working on much more important things. Sure. It's because the intangibility triggers before they attack and stops after they attack, right? So they're always intangible for that kind of effect. I mean, that's a pretty good hand right there. Guess I'm gonna have to apparate that one. Ugh, fine. If I want to play enough attacks this turn, I have to play out the card that I didn't want to necessarily. I'm fine passing on that. Slow and steady wins the race and all. Especially because this enemy doesn't scale. They just deck trash. Obviously, dodge and roll and footwork should have been in the opposite order there. Also going to try and empty out my hand a little there. Sure. Obviously, we're not going to be using the backstab this turn where the enemy's intangible, nor the dash because I was already defended. That works out in the end. Goodbye, Nemesis. Hello, full HP. Hey, back preparation. So our opening hand is 5, 3, 10. It's 10. It's really good. Pre-upgraded Cloak and Dagger. I want this Cloak and Dagger upgraded like really badly. Pair, raising max HP by 10. That's actually probably surprisingly powerful for us. We are going to have to deal with his daggers because they are actually really frustrating at this point in the game. Or rather can be. Sure. I'm going to get overdrawn this turn is one of my concerns at least. Draw. Sure, definitely blur. That seems like a great idea, though. Concentrate. Awesome for this deck right now. Concentrate on throwing away those defends. I mean, I'm already defended. So I think I just go mainline. Oh, obviously I Apparition. There's no reason not to. I don't know if I have enough poison in this deck to take the Catalyst right now. I will, like, be able to suddenly generate a bunch of poison out of nowhere with those poison potions, but not right now. I'm also actually going to burn the Malaise. I don't know if I'm ever going to have time to play it in this fight. Right. 30 damage on the main line, or just kill that dagger instantly. 30 damage on the main line, thank you. Yeah, we've got time. Oh my god, Wraithform, yeah. Got him. Darkstone Periat and another poison potion. I want to replace the fairy in a bottle, but I'm terrified that I'm going to die at some point. I mean, having 3 poison potions basically just means that I can kind of try and overrule someone. I don't know that it's more powerful than any of the other potions I'm currently holding. With apparitions in this deck, this probably shouldn't be that bad. Burn the Malaise, don't want it in hand. Definitely take the die. Regret it immediately because I don't need the AoE. We need single target damage. Yeah, that's why the apparitions are making me feel pretty comfortable about my decision to come into this combat. Thankfully, because otherwise, yikes. I gotta be honest, it's getting a little dire. Barely thought we were gonna make it through that one. Ginger, you can only become weakened as well as a smoke bomb that I definitely don't want. Quick slash prepared. Prepared? Does it matter if we run card negative value when we have too many cards? It would actually help me shuffle back apparitions without them becoming without them triggering as well. It's gonna be bad against the Time Eater, but I can just leave it in hand until it's right to play. Taking a single copy of that prepared. Toxic Egg, whenever you add a skill card to your deck, immediately upgrade it. Speaking of upgrading, yeah, we're up against the Time Eater in the final combat. It has to be Malaise. Okay. Prepared through to... Let's go. Alright. So if I Apparition, Cloak and Dagger... Strike, Shiv, I can get 2 energy to draw. And now we're at the point that basically nothing this Spheric Guardian can do to me is going to matter. Bye-bye. Another blur, yep. Flechetta's somewhat underperforming right now. I think actually Adrenaline being upgraded, giving us the extra energy on our first shuffle through of the deck and making our cards easier to play is probably going to be huge. Do I play Infinite Blades? The decks that we get from the extra shivs is probably balancing out the other effects. Hey, can't waken me. 3 cards I can play this turn. So... the enemy is going to get, what? 2 strength, so it becomes 36 damage that they're going to be doing this turn. So if I play the Cloak and Dagger, I actually do get hit. Just gonna have to lump it. Three. So I get to play 3 cards next turn. Doppelganger is going to be a really great way to cheat out the Time Eater. Obviously, Apparition should be one of the cards I play. Because it's going to burn if I don't. I mean, we can get 3 attacks this turn, but it's not a comfy way to do it. And I'm also using the Doppelganger outside of my initial intended purpose for it. We'll take the bullet time, definitely, though. Hitting a giant malaise there felt really good. We probably don't have more than 4 energy worth of things that we actually want to play this turn. So yeah, I can't see myself using bullet time that turn. Deadly Poison, for being around when I need you. I'll leave myself with 4 cards I can play next turn. All right, Catalyst. You know what? I instantly regret that. I think it should have been the other option. Trying to empty out that hand a little. Masterful Stab should basically always be free for us. From this point on, at least. Alright, it's bullet time. Let's just go till we drop. Damn it. Fine. More blurs in the deck, please. Adrenaline for very little reason. I should have held on to a lot of that and just stopped way earlier. Enemy's going to be purging this turn anyway, so unless I'm dealing 180 damage this turn, and I've got a spoiler for you. That's not happening. This explosion is pretty bad. Then I have to play the backstab. That's so that I could get 3 for the trigger of the kunai, as well as trigger the time loss effect there. Yeah, I don't really need to set up my next hand yet. Ways. I don't know. If they end up defending this turn, that was wrong. Okay, cool. They didn't defend this turn, so I don't think my malaise, or rather my choice to avoid malaise, was necessarily entirely incorrect. Dash has turned out to be wild. Loving it. I love that we are always hitting the timer and always hitting it basically exactly when I would want to as well. It's very, very, it's very neat. Very nice. Very handy. Sure, I'll throw another Bane in there. Why not? Alright, time eater. Looking good. Looking sharp. The Caltrops are, that is. Alright. Attack 971. Now we fight the hearts. Or rather, we go to the final act so that we can. The ending. Yes. Alright, we'll smith one more time. I think it's probably going to be really important that I have more apparition control in the early game. Here we've got a single shot. Enlightenment. That hits corpse explosion only, and then whatever else I add to the deck. I don't know about that. The extra strength is probably huge. It is huge. How defensive do I want to be? I have to decide eventually, do I want to be defensive or aggressive? I obviously can't take Strange Spoon because it will shuffle a lot of shivs back into my deck, which will ruin my draw. Strange Spoon being cards which exhaust when played will instead discard 50% of the time. Obviously, Ice Cream's kind of a little rich for my blood at the moment. Hey, the timer stops when you're in the shop. Cool. I think it's removal of a strike. I think it is. I think it's just removal of a strike, possibly, as well. Maybe full back. Thankfully, we had the red mask to remove their vulnerability. Or, sorry, to remove that artifact there. We definitely need to corpse explode the Spire Spear. It's the only way I get full defended this turn. Oh no, I already had 10 block! Ah! I forgot that I already had 10 block from the anchor, so no, I would have been full defended without that. That's my bad. Okay, since you're defending this turn and you're attacking this turn, I'm assuming that means that you're gonna attack next turn. You'll defend, but you're also a Spire shield and you're an attack. So, it's difficult. I'm just gonna blur. I just need as much damage as I can to throw on that Spire Spear as quickly as possible. These apparitions are the only thing keeping us alive right now. I have no clue what happens when those disappear. Adrenaline. 18 from behind. Okay. Throw that out. Cool. Putting a burst in the deck so I can burst an apparition is going to make a lot of difference, I believe. Wow, we've actually lost 3 strength already. Wild. 3? 2. Flechette's just doing nothing. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. So I do need to do like Flechette first if I'm going to do it. All right, we're fully defended now. All right. We're good. We've got lethal next turn. Didn't we? Yeah. Probably not with his draw. I was thinking of weakening and then just attack. Just burst apparition then. Cool. Still getting there in the end. All right. Now, Blood Vial at the start of each combat, heal for some HP, as well as the dodge and roll. Hell yeah. 2 HP, that is. Beat of Death. Okay. It's the Corrupt Heart, Beat of Death. Whenever you play a card, take 1 damage. Invincible caps all damage and HP loss taken 100. So that means that poison wasn't going to work. It's weakened by 1 turn. Okay. I'm extremely fine to play as many cards as I can in a turn. Good. Ooh, Tools of the Trade is actually probably really good. Being able to avoid certain cards, especially the curses that they put in our deck. Sorry, the wounds, the burns, the voids, etc. 3/12. So we're actually already defended against that. Unfortunately, we don't have our Caltrops out, but we can get some Thorns. It has to be After Image. That's it. I'm taking After Image, but I'm actually going to be taking some damage this fight. Damn you, video game. How dare you do that to me? Leg sweep seems like an excellent idea. Oh no, dodge and roll, obviously. Oops. Damn, actually took damage. Here I wanted to perfect it. Corpse Explosion needs to go. Yeah, unfortunately the Void was drawn, so I will lose the effect. Lose the HP, rather. Well, that's more than I can block, I'll tell you that much. Alright, I'm going to throw both of these poisons on. I haven't thrown them on yet because I don't know if the enemy has a second phase. I don't know if they have a purge. I don't know if they have anything like that. But now I'm thinking, I don't know if we live if they do have that. So I think I need to play with the best case scenario. We do have 2 things to revive us, which is always nice. Choose a card to discard. Discard an apparition that I don't need this turn. Hell yeah. Cool. 30. She's got a discard. It's on a lot of damage right now. Probably just to defend. Then we're probably better off naturally defending this turn. By the way, the after image is defending me every single time that I'm hitting it with Beat of Death, so that's not actually a thing that I considered, but it is extremely handy. Okay, it's going for another 3x12. Well, I still haven't got my Caltrops, goddammit. It's at the very bottom of the deck. Ugh! I wonder if Caltrops is like a legitimate defensive strategy as a result. Of the enemy constantly using that attack, that is. Just defend, I guess. Gotta play the Caltrops. 3. Block next turn. I probably could have considered bursting that, but gonna be holding on to the burst to burst apparition, that kind of thing. So I'm just gonna remove 6 strength from the enemy here. I think that might make it a little bit easier for me to win. Thank you for hitting yourself for a lot of damage right there. I'm not going to tell you to stop hitting yourself. In fact, I am entirely behind it. You do you. Don't let anyone tell you not to hit yourself. All right. I'm just waiting. +7 strength? Okay, yeah, all right. This final act isn't kidding. And this is at the end of every run? That's pretty wild. Oh, Terra, hell yes. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna sit on those, thank you. Great. We've got it. God, can I turn down the... Yeah, I'm turning off the screen check. It's way too intense in this combat. Just because your block is constantly broken, it's just always there. No second phase? All right. Hell yeah! I'm assuming that this is a lot. Oh no, it's a cutscene. Okay, so we've sliced something, then escaped, then. Oh, so that's probably the heart, actually. I just wasn't thinking it was the heart because it's green, but it's probably just shaded green so that it fits in with the aesthetic of the silent. Heartbreaker, defeat the heart, hell yeah! As well as the silent beta cards are now available, which means that I can turn on beta art for individual cards. So now, obviously, the goal is to win against it with the defect and the ironclad, and then consider possibly whether or not I want to do that in Ascension 20 as well. I'm not settled on that one yet, honestly. The Ascension 20 is being very... Now what? Has it been done? What? Do I... The Spire sleeps, and so shall I. So that's, I'm assuming, Meow going to sleep. Meow's slumber. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. That has been our first defeat of the Corrupt Heart. First of, hopefully, many yet to come. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.